Just be careful of resellers, guys. Hi, hon, is this still available? He says, sorry, I can do a payment plan, but not happy with $2,900. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. I absolutely dislike selling bags. One, because, well, I wish I could keep every bag I had, but I have been buying and selling bags for a number of years. I'm gonna say over 5 years. And today I'm going to talk to you about ways that I sell my bags. I think that Facebook groups are really good if you join something that is quite local to you. So I know for me, living in Melbourne, there's some Melbourne luxury groups and even just, you know, Australian ones. So it's great to join those local groups because, you know, shipping is going to be a lot easier if it's within your country. If you live near each other, it's really easy to meet up and the transaction is just a lot smoother. With international Facebook groups, you can find some really amazing gems overseas. And yeah, you can also make friends on Facebook, you know, through buying and selling. So I think that's Facebook groups for me used to be the best option. However, over the years, guys, you find a lot of time wasters as well, and that's why I probably no longer love selling on Facebook groups. I did purchase a multicolor item last year from a Facebook group, and that was a great transaction because the lady I purchased it from had a lot of great feedback. And also, guys, if you're trying to sell through Facebook, it's a little bit more difficult if you don't have already a lot of good feedback. So there are some groups who have admins and just like top sellers in the group, and usually they're the people you can rely on the most because, of course, people aren't going to trust you as much if you don't have any feedback. The reason why I hate selling on Facebook is literally, I'm going to share with you a conversation I had a few years ago when I was trying to sell a Louis Vuitton bag. So usually with Facebook groups, you make a post and you have to stick to the rules in the group, like, you know, put your name card next to the bag, have proof of authenticity, whether it's a receipt or something like that. Must have made a post for a certain bag. Hi, hon, is this still available? Yes, it is what I replied. Is it brand new? Do you have proof of purchase? Yes, and I wore it twice, however, it has no flaws. I have the receipt. Okay. Okay, is the price negotiable? Now, I'm okay with negotiating with prices usually, but a big thing that you have to look out for, guys, when you're trying to sell your stuff is people who lowball. Don't settle for people who lowball because there are a lot of resellers out there as well, and they will lowball you, take your item, and then flip it for even more. So be wary of those people. You can't really trust people on the internet, honestly. There are a lot of resellers out there, and there are more out there than what you think because you can actually make a ton of money from reselling. Like, think about it like this. My tan bag, right? I purchased this from my friend, and, you know, at the moment, tan classic flaps are all the hype. So it would be smart of me to sell this now and make, I guess, money on that. And I would be profiting probably because I purchased it last year and all of a sudden there's hype for tan classic flaps. So that, you know, made the value more. Just saying it from a reseller's point of view. So if I sold that now, you say I bought it for like $5,800. Say I sold it for $8,000, $9,000 because it's tan and caviar. Take that money, go to Hermes. You know, if I'm a reseller, I might be wealthy and have a good reputation with my sales associate. Take that money that I've made from the classic flap, say 9,000 maybe, I don't know, that's a bit steep. Invest it into a Birkin, you know, drop another 12K. Then take that Birkin and then resell it for 20K. So resellers make so much money because they're constantly getting things, making a little extra money off it, putting that money into another thing, and you can go from a Louis Vuitton pochette, say a mini pochette, okay? Buy this for $400, flip it for $800, then take that $800, get a bigger item, flip that to flip that. Like, this is how resellers get rich. They're constantly getting these little things, even your own things, and making money from it and making more money, to the point where they're reselling things that are really expensive, like Birkins and Kellys, and they're usually the top sellers in these groups, are selling things to that level and are literally making thousands of dollars. Just be careful of resellers, guys. I'm not a reseller myself, but it's definitely a business out there where, yeah, they're making thousands. So anyway, don't listen to lowballers. People will pay what they think it's worth, basically. Like, even something like this, a few years back, guys, you could get these for $600. Now people are paying $3,000 for this. Is this worth $3,000? Obviously not, but that is what people are paying for it. So you can price it to that value if you like, because it is within the market range, and you know, depending on the condition, that is the market value of it. So know your market prices, guys. Anyway, I kind of blabbed on a bit there. Let's get back to my conversation with that lady. Said was, I just posted it, so I have to see what other people are interested in it or not. And you know, I also have it in mind to sell it through online seller next week if I don't sell it on Facebook. And then she asked me if I do a payment plan. Now, there are people who are going to ask you about payment plans as well, whether it's 8 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks. So they don't give you the full amount as well. You have to trust them enough to be okay with this payment plan option. And also, guys, I usually say to them 20% outright with no refund if you're happy with that. Because if they, you know, have negotiated that, you know, obviously it's a hassle for me to be receiving the money in like 4-8 weeks, whereas I could have sold it for the full price and got the money straight away. So if they're serious, they will give you, you know, a chunk of money at the start and agree that it's non-refundable. That's how you know that they're trustworthy. They're not going to just give you a little bit then ask for a refund, because that is a lot of time wasted again, and that does happen. Now, she asked me how long do I do a payment plan for, and she asked for 1 month. And then I broke it down to $725 over 4 weeks. I showed her the receipt, guys, which is also something you should probably only show them at the very end, because that is a kind of private information. So then we agreed, I kind of said, you know, you can pick it up in Melbourne, save on postage, once you finish with the payment plan. She says, sorry, I can do a payment plan, but not happy with $2,900. And then I said, okay, I can accept $2,800. So I have negotiated with her a little bit, just because I'm trying to push the sale over the line a little bit here, wrap it up. And then she's like, okay, sorry, I think it's too high. I will think about it. Thanks anyways. That's totally fine. All good, because it's totally fine to say no. She's had a little conversation with me. She's asked for pictures, kind of wasted my time a little bit, but it's not too bad. Then she asked me the next day, can I meet you in this place? And I say, what day? I'm working, I can bring the bag with me and then meet you. And then I'm waiting. I brought the bag with me, and then she said, sorry, it's a public holiday, so she cannot make it. So what does that mean, guys? I've been ready to meet up with her, and she's all of a sudden ghosted me, which is also a common occurrence, guys. Be prepared to be ghosted. Sometimes people say they'll meet you somewhere, you go there, and they're not there. And that is another whole complete waste of time, which is why I hate selling on Facebook or Gumtree or anything, because people constantly act like they're serious and then ghost you. So that's the situation there. And then I said, look, I'm going to be giving this bag to the Purser Fair. I'm going to sell it through them. Let me know, otherwise I can meet you on tomorrow morning. And then she just says, no thank you. So all that time and effort over nothing. She's completely just said no thank you, even though she said that she wanted to meet up. So guys, there are so many people like that out there who will just waste your time, just ask you a lot of questions, and you have to be prepared for that. Now that's totally fine, but I think as a buyer, if you're serious about something, you should not be sure not to waste the person's time. Like, of course, if it's too high for you, if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. If you want to do a payment plan, be fair about it, you know, and pay on time. Don't delay it, because that's also going to look bad on you and give you bad feedback. So anyway, this is why I hate selling on Facebook. But you can kind of find the best things on Facebook, I would say. You target the people who want to buy it through these Facebook groups, you'll get more money. Whereas if you're giving it to a consignment store, it's going to be a lot less stressful because you don't have to deal with all those messages and people wasting your time, having to meet up. And they are still great platforms and they have a great reach depending on the consignment store. Like the Purse Affair has a great reputation, they have a great reach. So I find usually my things sell pretty fast when I give it to them and they're quite local to me. But you'll find like things like Fashion File, which we don't have in Australia, they can buy outright from you and you can make a huge loss by selling your items to them. And we don't really have a Fashion File in Australia. So I almost think that if I was a millionaire, I'd start my own Australian Fashion File and that would just be so awesome. But yeah, guys, that's how I usually sell my bags. I have been recently selling them through consignment stores. And in the past, I did sell through eBay as well, and that was quite efficient. But, you know, again, I hear about these people scamming people through PayPal and all that. And it's just, I feel like compared to a few years ago, it's getting a little bit more risky on eBay. And you get the same thing, a lot of messages, a lot of people wanting to meet up. I did sell a few like small leather goods last year on eBay with Louis Vuitton. And the lady asked if she wanted to meet up, and I said, okay. And then she got there with me, and then she started bargaining with me even more, even though we'd already agreed on a price. So it's very confrontational also meeting up with someone if they're still bargaining with you and you don't really know who you're meeting up with. You're meeting up with a stranger, so it's also slightly dangerous. So yeah, anyway, that's how I sell my really expensive designer goods. I think I would only sell like my Chanel bags, for example, through consignment because it's just too risky on Facebook, to be honest. Unless you are like have a great reputation or something. Buying is, I would buy something from Facebook if they're a trusted seller, but yeah, it's just, you have to use your own kind of experience, I guess. So yeah, I hope that was interesting, my insight on why I hate selling my bags. How do you guys sell your bags if you're a bag collector / hoarder? Let me know, and yeah, hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!